Hello, my name is Ichaluk or Sarah Steves, and today I'll be talking about limiting moralizing within your writing, and this presentation is for my COM 332 class. So what does it mean to moralize? To moralize is to think, write, or speak about matters of right and wrong, often in a self-righteous or tedious way. So why you should avoid it is that it can come off as condescending. So if you don't know, condescending is having a feeling of patronizing superiority, and this feeling can create an illusion of a power imbalance between the author and the reader or audience. So it's important to know the difference between how-to instructional writing or prescriptive writing, which means prescriptive means to relate to the enforcement of a rule/method, and writing where you present principles that are conveyed as incontrovertibly true. And it's important to make sure you know the difference. So one is helpful and you can break some rules here and there, but this is like the general rule of thumb, while the other one is you have to always follow these rules. If you break it, it's wrong, it's unprofessional, don't do it, and that can be rough. So here are some words or phrases to avoid starting a sentence with. So the first one's never, as in never to use this word. The second is don't forget, as in don't forget to use punctuation. Avoid, as in avoid being groups larger than 10. Don't, as in don't be dumb. Remember to, as in remember to do your homework. And always remember to, as in always remember to wear a mask. And personally, using these words, it reminds me of when I was young and my mother would yell at me before I left for school, and it was just like, okay mom, like let me go. So I don't know, enforcing the feeling of irritating and know-it-all type of thing. So in conclusion, when writing, avoid sounding like a professor, parent, or a preacher. And I included this quote: the more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know, and the less you know, the more you think you know. And I want to start with the last part because I felt like it shows a very naive way of thinking, that things are in black and white, so that everything you learn, this is 100% black and white, there's no gray area, you can't break the rules. But then the first part, the more you know, the more you don't know, I feel like is important because I hope it's safe to say that when you learn about anything in any field, you might come to realize that there's so much more to it than what meets the eye, and that it can always develop and become like what we thought was true might not be. So like in history, we thought the universe revolved around the earth, but then we found out that the earth revolved around the sun. Such an example. So in conclusion, try not to create an imbalance of power between the audience and the author, and try to sound more helpful than to be a bossy know-it-all. And that concludes my presentation.